Hey everybody, this is RC Tech Guy here. Just wanted to share another video overview with you guys. Kind of revisiting my TechOne Venus 3D plane. This is just a really fun plane to fly. I really like this plane a lot. However, it does have several weaknesses, but they are easily corrected with just a few mods, and that's what I want to show you guys this morning. And you can also see the review of this plane in another post and another video. But anyway, I want to just give you a quick video overview of just about 3 things I have done that's really helped this plane and that you may want to do. First things first, I want to show you guys this plane comes with landing gear. I have since removed the landing gear after having broken it off about 10 times. Landing on soft grass. Now, this plane is ideally suited, for indoor flying. Of course, summer weather being what it is, and nice weather, warm weather, this plane flies great outside. However, with the landing gear being on the weaker side, even when you come in on very short grass, you are most likely going to break the foam that forms the landing gear. It's basically just a carbon backbone, just a little carbon spar that is clothed by some foam that extends down to the wheel. So when you come in on grass, it's going to nose in and catch the landing gear and abruptly stop it, bend the landing gear back. This glue will break here that comes from the factory. I've hot glued this I don't know how many times, but inevitably after 2 or 3 more landings on grass, you're going to break that. So what I decided to do is I just took the landing gear off, and I wrote about this in another post, but I really couldn't tell a lot of flight characteristic differences in this plane after removing the landing gear. In fact, the CG still remained seemed unaffected, and I didn't really have to retrim the plane. I may have added a couple of clicks difference in my trim, so just to tell you, it's not going to adversely affect it in a tremendous way. In fact, I think it helps it. I think that makes the flying experience better. And when you come in for a belly landing, of course, you got the prop saver set up here. It just works so much better. And I'm getting better with my 3D and high alpha and coming in slow at myself. So I have been practicing and better at hand catching this by the wing, which works really nice, or the fuselage if you can bring it up in a hover or very high alpha coming towards you and you feel comfortable doing that, or even kind of to the side of you, maybe is safer, and catching it that way. Another thing I want to mention, the servos, the stock servos that come with this plane are really junk. I have replaced, I think, all but one of these in this plane, and I ran out of my Hextronic HXT 900s, or I would have replaced the other one, but luckily for me, I do not have an issue with, I think it's the elevator servo so far has held up. But the other servos, it just seems like they have really, really cheap gears inside. These things just start spinning and they strip out. And I have just, it's amazing. I mean, I've come in for some very soft landings and just all of a sudden the servo is stripped. Not really a crash, not really, edging the control surface in the ground while you're trying to, move the stick. It just, for whatever reason, I think the servos are not very good. So I have replaced those with the Hextronic servos. They're good servos, they're certainly not Metal Gear servos or anything like that, but these have worked very, very well. And finally, the last mod I want to show you guys, and I mentioned this when my post about building this plane in the overview, I used very thin diameter carbon rods instead of the string that was supplied with the kit for the rudder. And I have had very, very good success with this, and I feel much more comfortable with using the carbon instead of string. I've had some guys comment that said that they had no issue with the string. It seems to work good. But just for me and setting the plane up and trying to tie the string and make sure, I got it threaded through, and it's very, very thin string, I just felt better. And I think you guys would be very happy by using some very thin diameter. I can't remember how many millimeter diameter this is, but as you can see, it goes all the way back to the rudder. Now, the point to note in this setup is this works well because you have both a push and a pull on both sides. If this was only, a single like push and pull, this thin carbon would not work very well on the push side. So, but as you can see, when one carbon rod is being pulled by the servo, depending on the stick movement, the other is sort of pushing, but all of the force from the servo is coming from the pull carbon. So it works very, very well, because this carbon is such a thin diameter, it would flex very easily if it was trying to push, the control surface very much. So you guys understand what I'm saying there. So, carbon on both sides instead of the string. Of course, the idea is exactly the same with the string. The string definitely would not push anything, so that's why it was set up as push and pull. But this carbon, I feel like, works very much better for me, and I feel better about it. I don't have to worry about the string fraying or deteriorating over time. The carbon, is much more rigid, and just feel better about it. So that is some mods that I have done to my TechOne, and I think it makes the flying experience even better, and really enjoy this plane. I think it's a really cool plane. I know you guys, the ones that I have talked to that own this plane, agree. It's a fun 3D plane. It's a good trainer 3D if you're wanting to get into 3D. It's not too wild, but it also has the capability to do things that really make for enjoyable, fun 3D experience. Well, that is it for now, guys. Visit the website rcairspace.com. I'm going to have a full write-up of everything I've talked about here in a post, as well as other things coming down the pipeline. Keep you guys up to date on what I'm doing, and you guys please comment. Visit the forum I'm trying to start there, and just stop by and say hello. You guys take care. I'll see you in the air soon.